Hey Gun, welcome to the channel. So we are doing my second live stream today. So let me know please in the chat whether you can hear me well. If anybody is in the chat, so let me know if you can hear me well. And today I'm going to talk about UPWORK Job Success Score, explain UPWORK GSS algorithm, and the lesson that every entrepreneur, every business owner, every agency owner on UPWORK can learn from that. So wise men learn on somebody else's mistakes. So here I am, learn on my mistakes while I'm still alive, Top Gun. So let me know in the chat if you can hear me well. Just a second, I'll check. I hope you can hear me. And I hope that the sound is good because I'm having issues with my microphone. So if anything, if you can't hear me well, just let me know in the chat and I'll try to switch another microphone. Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you, Alexandra. Thank you, Leonid. Okay. So today's topic is UPWORK GSS and UPWORK Job Success Score. Now, the story goes like this. Our GSS dropped this week, and it was quite a blow for our team. And for me personally, we didn't expect that. Like all goes smooth, everybody's happy, the clients are happy, the team is like very good with the clients, everything is smooth. And then boom, all of a sudden, one day I open our agency profile and I see that our GSS rate dropped from 96% to 91%. It is a catastrophe, a nightmare, because when our rating, if our rating will fall under 90%, we won't be top rated anymore. 1% left, Top Guns, 1% left. It's a huge blow. So what happened? Of course, that's the first thing that I wanted to figure out. Why did this happen and what can be done? Before we jump into that, so let me explain a little bit what is a GSS. So I'm not sure if I can share my screen here. I'm still figuring out this live stream thing, but let me read it from the UPWORK website, and they say that your job success score measures your client satisfaction with your overall work history on UPWORK platform. It reflects client satisfaction as shown by relationships, feedback, and job outcomes over time. A high GSS, of course, will help freelancers to stand out in a UPWORK marketplace, and those with low GSS have zero chances actually to get a job, because there are a lot of people on UPWORK, freelancers, and there are a lot of top-rated people and great professionals, and those who are not great professionals but are top-rated as well. So every situation happens. So knowing that, I kept everything under control as I thought, and our feedbacks were great, our ratings were great, everything was great. However, when I wanted to understand what is going on, I read finally UPWORK requirements for having a good GSS. And let me tell you this, that the requirements and the rules that influence your GSS are poorly described in UPWORK guidelines and are quite messy. And there is a reason to that. Why UPWORK doesn't reveal their calculations of your GSS. Like they do, but at the same time they don't. Let me explain it. And why there are so many questions asked by freelancers and agency owners and about what is going on with their GSS, because nobody really knows. And there is a reason to that. UPWORK says that we don't reveal the exact calculation for your score. Doing so would make it easier for some users to artificially boost their scores. We need to maintain some privacy with this metric to ensure fairness and accuracy. So in other words, they don't say what your GSS depends on. They don't reveal that to you. They don't give exact guidelines like do this, this, and that, and you will get the perfect GSS. Yes, there are like general rules of thumb that you have to keep your feedback, you have to keep your client satisfaction, you have to keep your rates, like everything under control. However, at the same time, there are like certain requirements that are unset and certain rules, and just a few of them. So let me open the Upwork Job Success Score guidelines. And what they say that your GCC can change because, first, understandably, you receive poor public or private feedback from one of or more clients, and private feedbacks are like really bad because you don't really know, you don't really see who left you this bad feedback and why. Second one, you receive very positive public or private feedback from one of or two your clients. Then a higher value job is added to your score and outweighs lower value jobs. So this is another thing to remember, that high value jobs, I presume that those are jobs with bigger budget, are valued higher than lower value jobs. For example, if you got like 3 stars, God save us, but 3 stars on the job that was like $100, and then you got 5 stars from a job that was several $1,000, of course, your job success score will depend heavily on the higher value job. And the fourth, it's not requirement, it's sort of a rule. The fourth rule is that jobs you completed in the past are no longer considered because they are outside the score's time frame. And this is another important thing to understand, that Upwork doesn't calculate GCC from the projects that are over 6 months old. Like if you have an older project, if you had a great GCC or a bad GCC, they don't count, or they count like lower after 6 months. So it's another thing to consider, because it might make more sense to close your ongoing job with a good client and then open the new one with the same client just to keep your GCC high. There is another thing to consider, is that again they underline that sometimes they exclude unreasonable feedbacks, and sometimes they change your GCC just because of their own calculations, and they don't reveal that. They don't reveal that because they are afraid of scammers, and they are afraid that freelancers and agency owners will somehow scam the Upwork system. And they have like a certain reason for that, because, for example, Upwork cut their tests like a year ago or so, because all of the test results were, after like a month, you could find them online, you could find them on the web. Okay, so basically, let me sum it up. How can your GCC decrease? So the first one is poor feedback, private or public feedback from your clients. The second one is poor rating, of course. Now, the next one, the one that I didn't mention, by the way, is your unresponsiveness. The speed of your response matters a lot. How fast you respond to your client. If I could figure out how to share my screen, I would show you. How my different team members' rates differ based on their response rate. If you respond like within 7 days, or don't respond at all to your clients' requests, to new clients' requests, and to your current clients' messages, then again, your score will drop. And if you are super responsive, you respond within the minutes or within the hours of receiving a request, then your GCC will go higher. So your response rate matters a lot for your GCC. And the fourth reason for a GCC to change is inactivity. And that was exactly the reason why our GCC dropped. So that was all on us. because of our inactivity. And what is meant here? The first one is your inactivity on the platform, when you or your team members don't apply to new projects, when you don't correspond, don't communicate with new customers. So, oh, hi, Harry, nice to meet you. Nice to see you in the chat. So the first one is your inactivity on the platform overall, like you're not applying to projects, not applying to, not responding to new clients, and so on. And the second type of inactivity that affects your GCC a lot is the inactivity on your current projects. Meaning that if perhaps you have clients who give you tasks like from time to time, no, this system doesn't work in UPWORK. For example, if you have a client with whom you have like ongoing, like smaller tasks, like say for 10 hours per month or 10 hours per 2 months, so have those projects closed each time. That was the reason why our GCC dropped. Our feedback was great. Our rating was great. We were active on the platform. However, we had inactive projects that we didn't close. And that was the reason of our GCC falling down. Like 1% more, and we are out of top-rated agencies. So yeah, this is a pretty messy situation. And I understand that this is all on us, and this is all on me. I'm under no illusions that it's all on me. As agency owner, I should have checked everything, should have checked new guidelines, because UPWORK updates them regularly, and check on all team members and their projects, because all team members matter. When agency's GCC is calculated, every team member matters. And this also reminds me to make sure to only hire people you feel you can trust. And I'm emphasizing about the feel part, because it's all on the human factor after all. And no matter how hard you test their skills, if something is wrong with the communication part, there is a human factor that might affect like your projects in the long term. So however, this is a topic for an entirely different video or live stream. I don't know where to find trustable people, how to hire, how to test them, and how to make sure that they are actually adequate and that they will communicate with your team members and to work with your team members and to part if the time comes on good terms. So let me know if this would be something that you would be interested in. And yes, so back to our GCC again. Our GCC dropped because we had several projects where we had zero activity for over a month, and we didn't close those projects. And again, I understand that this is all on me. I had to check everything. I had to keep an eye on that. I just didn't know that. The truth is, I didn't know that. So the takeaway would be this. Is to first, in our case, never slow down. I mean, in terms of your being active in your business, if you plan to, just make sure you have someone to cover your back while you're away. Be active. In a service-based business, it matters the most. Like no movement, no revenue, sort of. And the second takeaway is that in service business, your team matters as nowhere else, because like in product business, it's all about a product. It's a product that is a core value in your business. And in service type businesses, it's people. It's people who make or break your business, because in service-based business, you either sell brains or either sell skills. So you sell someone, you sell people. It's like a slave trader, in a way, slave master, I don't know. But you sell skills, you sell people, and in service-based business your team matters a lot. So you have to keep an eye on everything that's going on inside your team, every communication with the client, every activity on every project. So you have to keep an eye, just to keep an eye on everything. And another takeaway, just a reminder for myself, is that in any business, take the blow. If you are the business owner, You are responsible. You are guilty. If anything happens, just you are guilty for whatever happens. Take the blow. It's not your engineer who messed up your company's relationship with the client. It's yourself who haven't predicted this situation and who hasn't replaced this developer, this engineer, or this person with someone else who can do the job before it all went south. And it's just you who should have seen this happening. It's not your partner who destroyed the important meeting with your potential clients. It's you, because you haven't been there to save the day. And in my case, there is no one else that could do better than me this part. I mean, there was no one else. There is no one else I can blame. So it's all on me. Now that we are done, I presume, with the bit of wisdom part, I'd be happy to answer your questions, if any. And just to say hello, let me check the chat. Just to say hello. Well, I presume I've said hello to everyone who's listening to our live chat. Well, maybe while you are coming up with your questions, let me ask you a question. Let me know, what do you struggle the most in your business? And let me know in the comments, what is your main concern when it comes to starting or running your business? Leonid, I was at a workshop that UPWORK organized a year ago. Yes, I remember they said how important activity is and it will be taken into account. Yes, absolutely. And I think that I heard this part as well, but I presume I've been so overwhelmed with our activities and with actual projects that I just let this part just slip away from my attention, and I sort of forgot this part. So yeah, it's like I said, it's all on me, keep forgetting things. We're not getting any younger. Okay, so any other? Harry, you should have had some questions for me. And yes, for everyone who will be looking at the live stream in later in the recording, because it will be available. I hope it will be available after we end this live stream. Again, my question is, what do you struggle the most in your business? I can tell what I'm struggling the most, but I presume that is a topic for an entirely different discussion. And that would touch a little bit on the human factor part. How big is your team now? So we are a team of 10. However, we have let me check, about 4 team members who are currently unavailable for new projects. So we are waiting for them to finish their current assignments. The cat is having another assignment as well. She has a very important task to do. She's sleeping right on the couch. That's her main task for the day. So guys, if you have no more questions, let me wait for another few minutes. So, and while I'm waiting, 18 hours, right? The cats sleep for 18 hours per day, typically. Mine surely does. So while you may be coming up with some more questions, so the topics for the next discussion I wanted to speak with you. So I had a few in my mind, when I ran a monthly questionnaire, someone asked me a question, where in the world do I find people for my team, trustable people for my team, and how to build a well-knit team? I can boast that we have a pretty well-knit team. Maybe it's because our team is small. Currently, we are under 10 people now. So we were a team of 11. Now we're a team of 10. But we are family-like team by now, and I guess I can share a few tips here. So that I'm just proposing this topic for the next discussion. If you have like any other ideas, just throw them down in the chat. And yes, and another topic would be the hardest part of entrepreneurship, because this is a topic I wanted to talk with you about as well. Harry, I run a service-based business, and negotiating with people plays a big part. You have to be a people's person. Absolutely, yes, absolutely. And this is why I have so many. It's not many, but few videos on my channel related to soft skills, because not everybody understands the importance of the right communication. And this is why I keep an eye on every chat with the client where my team members communicate with the client. And it's not only related to Upwork, like we work outside of Upwork as well, of course. And I keep an eye on everything, because like we had a few critical situation when a team member wrote something to the client without consulting with me first. And then it was like pretty messy situation. And yes, many. Do you mean that many can be unreasonable? Do you mean clients? Clients can be very unreasonable, yes. Yes, absolutely. That was the topic of my previous live stream, when I shared the situation that happens a lot, like a lot. Yes, clients can be unreasonable, so you have to keep the balance between not giving in and between, keeping that client if you need them. And sometimes you need them. Sometimes you need clients just to keep your team members for the bigger projects, sort of. So yes, you have to keep this balance. And in many cases, it's better that you do all the communication part, and even in the details. For example, in the working chats where my team members are communicating with the customers, on tech issues. And sometimes there are sort of organizational questions from the client side that I prefer to answer personally. And I just write the entire message and I send them personally to my team members, and have my team members to send that message to the client, to not intrude. I only intrude when I feel that the situation is on the verge of being out of control. Okay. It's not only, by the way, I wanted to add that it's not only the negotiating with people that plays a big part. It's also the, the human factor, again, plays a huge part, because some clients are people as well. And sometimes you have to just understand their situation. And we had so many situations where we just had to understand them as people. Well, hard situation happens. It's just a topic for entire different discussion, where we can bespeak different situations that happen. Okay, so if you don't have any questions, I presume that would be for now. That would be it for my second live stream. And let me know if you support the idea of our next discussion, and that is where to find people for your business. It could be both for service-based and for product-based businesses. For any. You need people everywhere. Leonid, please remind me how Upwork supports small teams, and how does Upwork help when inappropriate actions begin on the part of the customer? The short answer is it doesn't. It doesn't support teams. It doesn't support freelancers, and agency owners are the most vulnerable part of Upwork, because Upwork writes in their guidelines that Upwork supports the side of the customer in most cases, because it's the customer who pays the money. And only in some outrageous situations, if you have all the proof in the Upwork chat, not from messengers, not from Telegram, not from anywhere, in the Upwork chat. This is why it's important to hold all the communication through Upwork. Never leave Upwork for communication with the customer. Only in outrageous situations it might take your side, but not 100%. And in terms of supporting teams, it doesn't. And again, they indicated in their guidelines that agencies on Upwork, it's not like companies. You're not operating there as a company. Agencies on Upwork are considered to be just a gathering of freelancers, a gathering of individuals, because in any situation, for example, you have, and we had the situations again, when we have a complicated projects where several people are needed in order to deliver the product for the customer, and you cannot add all of those people into the same project. The client has to hire them individually each time, even though they work through Upwork, and even though I receive all the funds from the client, still they operate on sort of individual contracts with the clients. So again, agency on Upwork, it's not a company, it's a group of freelancers. It's considered to be a group of freelancers. And you as an agency owner, you just figure out how to make the communication, how to make the money transaction between your client and yourself and your employees or your contractors or your freelancers, whatever. So the short answer would be it doesn't. Upwork doesn't support small teams. However, they have improved their online support over the past year and a half. So in case and you have any questions, you just write in the chat or write via email, and they respond much faster than like a couple of years ago. So they do have an improved support for agency owners and for top-rated freelancers. Alexander is asking, so my usual problem is lack of feedback. Maybe it's just my problem, but my clients don't leave too many reviews, unfortunately. Oh, yeah, I mean, it's not only your problem, Alexander. Yes, absolutely. Many clients just don't bother leaving feedbacks like, nah, it's an extra effort. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. And the trick is to ask your client every single time after you finish a project, every single time. And if you can make them close the project, it's much better if you close the project. So the first thing, they should close the project in order to be able to leave the feedback at the same time as they close it. Because if you close the project, then they would have to go try and find this project among their closed projects and then figure out how to leave the feedback. Like 100% of clients won't do that. So yes, you have to ask every single time for a feedback. It's tiresome, and I hate this part as well. But we are having one client now who didn't leave any feedback for his previous freelancers. I checked his history, and the feedback of the freelancers were positive. So I figured out that this client is like adequate. But for some reason, he didn't leave any feedbacks. And we risked, we took our chances, and we started to work with this client. And we asked every single time I write and remind him to leave us a review, to leave us a rating. And he does. Yes, he does, because I'm really persistent. It's easier to write me a feedback than not leave me one. Generally, people would not take the time to leave feedbacks unless something bad happens. Absolutely, it's a human factor, like I mentioned, absolutely. And I can say that I'm guilty sometimes as well. For example, I buy ebooks on eStore, and when I'm super satisfied with the book, I'm like, "Whew, this book is so great." Okay, so I like this book, but I will say it to myself. And when the book is really bad, I'll make sure to go and leave a bad review. I check that on myself, and I try to leave positive reviews like each time now, because I'm an author myself, so I know how important it is. But if I weren't a writer myself, probably I think that I voted for your book with my money. That's it, just a human factor. Yes, you have to ask every single time. That is why many companies will openly ask you to leave a feedback. Yes, absolutely. Not only openly, but persistently to leave a feedback. That's how I do all the time. Like I'm very, sticky in this manner. So until a client leaves me a feedback, I'll do everything possible to make him leave a feedback. Yes, in most cases, feedbacks are left in case any problems arise. Absolutely, yes. Human factor. It's something, if anyone like makes us disappointed, we should let the world know that we are disappointed and they made us feel bad. Yes. And if something good is done to us, it's like it was meant to be. Okay. Then, by the way, so your opinion on the next live stream session, like, shall we talk more about this human factor and the team members, where to find team members and how to work with them, or maybe have any other ideas, any other concerns? So that was my question, like, what do you struggle the most in your business? What do you do with the negative feedback? Thank God we didn't have any negative feedback till now. I mean, not till now. Our GCC dropped because of our inactivity. So we didn't have any negative feedback for now. We had one situation where we both, it was on the client. It was a client with a specific business mentality. Let me put it this way. I don't want to to mention many details, but we were both dissatisfied with each other. Like they at least he told us so, that he's dissatisfied, that it could have been done faster, not with the result, but with the speed of our delivery. We didn't break any deadlines, but he said that it could have taken like less hours. No, it's a regular complaint. And he was really rude to my freelancer, to my employee. And I didn't like that. So I interfered and we had a pretty harsh discussion, because I don't like it when my people are being mistreated and being taken advantage of. This is the thing that triggers me. To be honest, this is the thing that triggers me. And we have a logo of honey badger for a reason. So I kept myself as calm as possible. So thank God all of our communication was via text, and that when you have the time to hold yourself and to hold back all the things you want to tell right into the face. And we had pretty like restrained conversation, but then I asked for his manager, like his CTO or someone, and I added my CTO to the chat, and that's when the CTO asked what my CTO asked, what is the problem, what is the issue. And the business mentality of the client was such that if a male partner asks the same question, he hears that person, and if a female, it's like you can like just ignore her. It's just a specific business mentality. And after my CTO asked the same question as I did, they said, okay, we're closing the project, we're leaving positive feedback, and you leave a positive feedback for us as a client, and just let us part on good terms. And that was a very hard situation, but we managed to somehow communicate it through, and both sides left positive feedbacks. So yeah, that was the only situation, a pretty dangerous situation for our potential future GCC, Job Success Score, but we managed to get it through. And in the future, I hope to get Top Rated Plus, where you can remove negative feedback from time to time. Absolutely, yeah. In my industry, you have to keep a smile on your face and apologize. Yelling back is a sure way to shut down your business. I didn't yell back, just to make sure. I didn't yell back, not even in a textual sense. I didn't yell back. I was very calm, very calm. That's the best word that described me. But very, I used very simple phrases just to make that other person calm down, or embarrass himself even further for the Upwork support to understand who was wrong there. But yes, you're absolutely right. So yelling back it won't help. Won't help to sort out things. When I worked in a B2B, face-to-face, in the telecommunication industry, and I had to communicate with clients again face-to-face, and I had multiple negative situations. So the best way is to keep calm. When you work online, it's a good thing because I can stand up, go and yell at my cat or I don't know, at the picture, then sit down and write a calm message to the client. And in face-to-face situation, you just have to restrict yourself. You just have to keep yourself calm through whatever methods you have. Yes, absolutely. It's not related to any industry. It's a rule for life. If someone is yelling at you, yelling back is never a good. It's never a good choice to make. Not only in business, but in personal life maybe as well. Okay. Okay, I'll try to tell this to half the world. Yes, don't yell back. Everybody who hears me, don't yell back. It won't solve the problem. Unfortunately, there is a type of people. I presume that is because of the personality type. How do you call this psychological thing? When a person reacts, emotionally. That's just the type of person you have to deal with. Like I presume an emotional person, but like in business, I learned it through my career to just keep my face straight and be as calm as possible. When the client is rude, like openly rude, like we had in that situation, I won't be smiling though. I won't be smiling, but I will be like dead calm. That's it. Dead calm, and maybe I just won't respond to them. It works in like face-to-face communication. Well, that's an entirely different topic. So yeah, thank you for everyone. I presume that would be it for the live stream. If there are no questions, if you will remember something you wanted to ask, just put it down in the chat. I hope this live stream will be available after I click this red button. So still my question to everybody who will be watching this after the live stream is over: what are you struggling the most in your business? So what are the hardest situations you ever faced with, and what do you need help with the most? So let me know that in the comments. And thank you, Harry, Leonid, Alexandra, everyone who was watching this live stream, who was being active in the chat. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And I'll see you hopefully on Wednesday and on our Friday live streams. See you soon. Bye.